So good evening and welcome to the first of Core and Restore. So Core and Restore is a series of back issues or gentle Pilates or training to improve spinal stability and core strength. I've been teaching this for many years, like 30 odd years. And what I would say is, even if you are a fit and experienced person, doing these sessions are really worthwhile because it gives you opportunity to take things a little bit slower and to really get into that Pilates kind of thought process. Hello, where you can focus on how it feels. So the correct word for this is interoception, okay? And you can Google it if you want to, because what it means is that when we think about doing something and then we do the action, the neural pathway improves and we get fitter and stronger in a much quicker way. And I always use Usain Bolt for this because it's as if when you're training, if you're thinking about, what you're going to have for supper or, excuse me, anything else like that, you don't execute the exercise correctly. Today, I'm teaching you exercises to do on a chair. So earlier this week, we did barbell workout using a chair, and we're using a chair today. And this is to allow the people in the cafe who maybe have mobility issues to be able to redo these sessions at any time so that they're really helpful. I've been teaching seated Pilates in Bath now for over a year. And initially I was a bit, I did it because I knew there were a lot of people with back issues who wanted to come to back care but couldn't get down on the floor, or once they were down on the floor they couldn't get back up. And the other thing I found was if you are slightly neurodivergent and you can't see me and you're always doing Pilates with your head up like a little meerkat, you can't do your Pilates properly. So seated Pilates gives you an opportunity to understand core control whilst watching me the whole time, because sometimes you learn by watching somebody. So the setup today is going to be a warm-up on the chair using the ball and the band. So if you don't have a ball, use like a small cushion or a rolled up towel, anything like that. Now we're going to do some standing work with the chair. And then we're going to go back down onto the chair and do further exercises. I'm going to teach you in the same way that I teach my class in Bath. And I, as an instructor, have learnt a lot from teaching people who would never normally do Pilates. It's made me really consider the way that we work around the Pilates ethos and how we get everything to work. So even if you're fit and able, or you are not quite sure about this, give it a go. You've got nothing to lose. I really enjoy the session and hopefully you will. So without further ado, you need to get your chair. All right. So you need a chair, ideally, with a high back and no arms, okay? So that when you're sitting on it, it's nice and stable. You're going to use your Pilates ball to support your posture. So I'm going to be turning my chair around so you can see. So where your chair is, you're going to place the ball right at the bottom, so it's roughly on your sacroiliac joint. So you then sit onto your chair with your ball pushing your back up into position so that you're not slumped. Okay, so you just kind of want to wedge that there. Now I know some chairs have a hole there, which is why I don't teach it in the wine, because they've got like a big hole at the back and can't use the ball. And then we start as normal, okay? So you place the ball behind your back. I'm just going to move back a little bit. And then you have, like we do in normal Pilates, your feet hip distance apart. The other thing I found is really helpful is to place your hands onto your thighs to kind of help brace your spine into position. And we're going to start by lifting and lowering your toes. So working through foot problems is really key. You need to open and close the toes. You need to lift the toes up high enough so you feel the stretch underneath the foot. Tripping and falling over, if you've got osteoporosis, is a real issue. So you can have osteoporosis and you won't break a bone unless you fall. That's not to say all spinal fractures don't happen like that. So then you want to move through the ankles. So on this one, you're just going to lift the heels up and down. I do these two exercises before the breathing, and part of that is to do with the calf. So the calf muscle itself helps to pump the blood back to your heart. And you don't want your feet to be cold or your lower limbs not to be activated before we do the deep breathing. Once we've done that a few times, we're going to do the breathing as we do in standard Pilates. If you have a shoulder issue, you don't have to take your arms all the way up. So you're going to take a deep breath in, hold the breath in your body, and then a slow breath out. Now when you do the slow breath out, just push your back into the ball without slumping. So deep breath in, and then that slow breath out. Roll your shoulders, and we do that one more time. Deep breath in, and then that slow breath out. Okay, so we're going to start with the shoulders. So you lift the shoulders up, back and down. Now it does help if you've got shoulder issues to keep your hands on your legs to take the weight of your arm off the shoulder joint. Now with the elbow, you're going to lift and pull the arm back and then bring it around. What I want you to do is I want you to think about reaching back to get the safety belt, okay? You know, like when you're in somebody else's car and you have to look where the safety belt is. So reach back and get the safety belt and roll your lower back against the ball. Same thing with the full arm. Imagine you're going to reach to the back seat of your car. So you're going to turn your head as well as your shoulder, and you're going to roll against that ball. Okay, so from here we're going to do 7-foot arms. So you're going to curve and push into the ball, and then you're going to reach out and sit up onto your sit bones. Okay, so you're coming in and then open. Lovely. So you just want to curve, tuck your chin in, look down towards your feet, and then lift. Roll your shoulders and release. Okay, so this one is called safety belt. You take your hand and you imagine putting your safety belt into the car, okay, somebody else's car, because you do it your own, you don't know, do you? And then you're going to take the arm and you're going to lift the hand up. So you let your head follow down and then up. If you want to, you can do both arms to the one side, both arms up. Now roll your back against the ball when you're doing this. Okay, release the shoulders. We try onto the other side. So click into place and then look at your hand. And this way it helps us to mobilize the neck. Yeah, and open, and again one more time. Lovely. Okay, so let's move down to the feet. So we've done a little bit of this. What I want you to do now is to lift one leg at a time. Notice I've got my hands back onto my thighs to help support the weight of my upper body. And you just want to lift one knee at a time. And then release. Okay, so you're going to take the ball away and you're going to scoot and sit all the way back into your chair. You're going to have the ball in your hand. So we use the ball to help to mobilize the joints, and there's two places that we do that. The first part is here. So sometimes we can have arthritis in the base of our thumb, and what happens is your hand moves to like a claw-like position here, so that this area becomes smaller. And you want to be able to improve your grip strength. So we work on this bit in the middle. Can you see I've been making bread? I've got bits of bread on my hand. I'm really sorry. So with the ball, you want to have that part of your hand against the ball, and you want to stretch your fingers, and you're going to move the ball like this. Okay? All right, so you keep sitting down because I need to talk to you about something else. So you're going to move the ball like this and round the other way. The second one is, of course, to work the joints of the fingers. And to do that, you're going to grip the ball and release. Now, if you want to get one of these balls, have a look at your list. And if you live in town and you want one of these bender balls, I have got some for sale, okay? So keep it going. So you're going to use your right hand. You're going to take the ball, sit back, feet at distance apart. You're going to do your safety belt in, and then you're going to turn the ball and lift it up to the ceiling. Now, we call this Statue of Liberty, okay? So think of the Statue of Liberty with your arm up, and you're going to press down. Lift it up, look at the ball, okay? And again, one more time. Now, as your ball goes up, squeeze the ball, breathe out, press the ball down. One more time. Squeeze, release, press. Okay, let's change over to the other side. So squeeze the ball, open your chest, sit up, look at the ball. Look down, squeeze the ball, release, lift up, squeeze the ball. Now, each time you squeeze the ball, I want you to squeeze your stomach muscles. So pull your stomach muscles in as you squeeze, release, squeeze the ball. And again, one more time, lift. Okay, going back to this one, you're going to have your elbows wide. You're going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to squeeze the ball and tighten your stomach muscles. Now, you want to be sitting upright for this, so you kind of look like this. Take a deep breath in, squeeze. Feel like you're getting up a little bit taller, and then release. So you want to squeeze and sit up. Now, I want you to think, if you ride a horse or anything like that, you know how like they canter and they sit up. So you want to sit up and just relax. And again, sit up. All right. So we are now going to engage the abs a little bit more, and you're going to lift. Can you tell I teach? That's my right leg. Here we go. Take a deep breath in, breathe, squeeze, lift your right foot off the floor, and then release. Deep breath in, squeeze, lift your other leg off the floor. Ignore me with the right and left, everybody. Take a deep breath in, squeeze. Lovely. Elbows. And again, using the heels of your hand, stretching those fingers wide at the top. 2 more goes. Squeeze. Lovely. 1 more time. And squeeze. Okay. Moving the ball now between the kneecaps, and you want to, scoot forwards so most of your thighs are off the chair. You can hold with your hands onto the chair if you want to and sit upright, or you can have your hands on your thighs. You're going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to squeeze the ball, and I want you to engage your pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor is connected your tailbone through to the front of the pelvis. Now, as you squeeze, I want you to lift your heels off the floor and then release down. So breathe and squeeze, lift your heels and down. Nice work. And again, lift, lift, lift. Good work. And then release. Okay, take the ball in your hand, sit back again. So for this one, you're going to push the ball down. Imagine you're going to pick up the remote control that's fallen on the floor. You're going to sit up, you're going to bring the ball to your shoulder, and you're going to put your suitcase in the overhead locker. Okay? So you come down, pick something off the floor, come back up, overhead locker. All right. So we're going to squeeze the ball. As it goes down, squeeze the ball, breathe out, relax, squeeze the ball, breathe out, sit up tall. Notice I've got my other hand on my leg, yeah? Pressing down, coming up and push. Now, if you're feeling good, press down. As you press up, lift your foot off the floor. Okay, take your foot down, press down, sit up, lift your foot off the floor. Good work. One more time, press down and push and lift. Well done. All right, ball back between the knees, sit right back for this one. Bring your feet tucked under a little bit and your heels off the floor. So you're going to crush the ball and you're going to come into semaphore arms here, and then you're going to release the ball and open the arms. So you crush the ball, heels off the floor, and you release. Okay, crush the ball and release, and you've got, I don't know, 2 more. I've only ever taught this in person, so my right and my left are all confused. I do apologise. All right, let's try again. So, ball in this hand on your leg, sit up tall, use your hand to support your upper body. Reach the remote control off the floor, touch your shoulder, squeeze the ball. All right, so elbow in. Now the elbow in is important because that works the lat muscles. Okay, so you keep your elbow in tight to your body and then down. Now, if you're feeling good, look down at the floor, lift the opposite knee, squeeze, breathe out. We're going to do 4 of these, okay? Push down, don't fall off your chair, okay, because I can't help you. Lift, lovely. And again, push down and then lift. Well done. Okay, so this time, scoot forwards so you're on the edge of your chair. All right, elbows in, take a deep breath in, lift up, squeeze the ball and look to the side, back to the centre and down. What you don't want to do is to move your arms and not your body. When you turn, sit up tall. Now, if you do have osteoporosis, go nice and slowly, okay? And down. Remember, you want to turn your whole back from the base of your rib cage, really. One more time. Lift and turn. Good. How does that feel? Feeling better? Take the ball, place it back into the lower back. You're going to wriggle against the ball, and this is going to help recovery through that lower back. So you want to feel that ball moving. You can lean forwards, lean back, you can roll up and down, anything that feels good for your body. Then you're going to move the ball, okay, from this position to into the lumbar spine. You're going to push with your arms and lean into the ball and then come away from it. You're going to tuck your chin in, push into the ball, and then you're just going to wriggle. And then you're going to come up and you're going to do toy soldier arms. Now when you're doing toy soldier arms here, you're going to roll against the ball. Okay, so you're going to roll against the ball. Hands down, tuck in and release. One more time, tuck in and release. Okay, so the last one is for the upper body, and you've got to scooch forward and slump like a teenager. Okay. For this one, you want to feel like you are stretching through your shoulders. You're going to move your arms like you're in your canoe, okay, or reaching your arms forward one at a time. And then release. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing now. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a stepping or a jumping movement. So we started with both feet tucked underneath. I want you to take 1 foot forwards. You're going to take the ball, you're going to breathe, you're going to squeeze the ball, and you're going to roll forwards and push up. Okay? I'm going to do it sideways on so you can have a look. So from here, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Breath in, breath out, roll and up. Okay? Should we have a go? 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, roll and up. So the other thing I've been teaching is all about kind of trying to improve stability through the ankles, and we do a jump. Now if you don't want to do the jump, that's fine. So you go breathe in, breathe out, stamp your feet. Okay? Breathe in, breathe out, stamp your feet. And what you want to do is to just lift your feet up a little bit, breathe out and squeeze the ball at the same time, tighten your arms. Stamp. Okay, so then you go stamp. Okay? Now, Push the ball slightly forward so you've got this kind of round hole there so you can see your feet, yeah? Watch me first. The exercise is this. Breath in, breath out, stamp. Then push the ball forwards and sit down slowly. If it's problematic, you don't have to do it. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, stamp and up. Belly in tight, pull your belly in, look down, make sure you can see your feet. Now the reason I'm saying I want you to see your feet is I want you to use the hips. I want you to squeeze the ball because we want to keep your belly flat when we're going back to the chair. If your knees come forward, you won't be able to see feet. All right? So you don't go like this, knees forward. Okay? What you want to do is make sure you can see your toes and your whole foot, and you squeeze your belly tight and you sit down. Yeah? Stamp and up. Squeeze, look at your feet. Last one, we're going to stay standing up. Stamp and up, and we're up to standing. Okay. So, for this one, you're going to have the chair by your right hand, and you have a choice. You can either hold on, you can just put your fingertips on, or you can just stay close to it in case you're going to wobble. The leg that is closest to the chair is the one that's going to be doing the stabilising work. You're going to be working through the hip, the thigh, and your ankle. Remember, your knee is going to be involved in this. So when you're doing the stabilising, you want to think about pulling that hip joint in, tucking your tailbone under, flatten your belly. All right. So, in this position, take a deep breath in, breath out. Now, when you're standing on this leg, you don't want to lean like this towards the chair. You want to remain upright and you want to hitch your hip so that this hip is slightly higher than that one. And then you're going to lift your knee and take your leg back. You're going to lift your knee and you're going to take your leg back. If you want to, when you take your leg back, you can reach this other arm forwards. Lift your knee and pull the arm behind you. So you do toy soldier arms as that leg. Don't slump into that hip. Good. One more time now. Lift. Okay, both feet down and work through the hips. You just push the hips side to side. So we're going to work the outer part of the hip on both sides now. This one's going to be static. So you stand, don't slump, pull it in. Take your leg out to the side, lift your leg up and down. Arm follows. I call this one Harry Worth. Thumb up towards the ceiling. Don't lean, okay? Remember the song Jolene? You have to sing it. I would sing, but my singing is absolutely appalling. And then recover. Good. Face your chair. So for this one, you slide your foot under the chair and back. Slide your foot under the chair and back. Slide your foot under the chair and back. So this is to mimic stepping down off the pavement or off the stairs. It's going to teach you core control. So belly in as your leg comes forward. Belly in as your leg comes forward. Now watch, if you want to work harder, bend the knee and don't let your foot touch the floor and then stand up. Belly in, don't let your leg touch the floor. So those of you who haven't got any back issues, you can try and do this like we did before. Now what works really well is to have that circle so you can see what your foot is doing. And again, oh, last time, lovely. So the last exercise is for your butt. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Now you push your hips forward and you are only going to lift your big toe that much off the floor. Take a deep breath in, breath out, squeeze your belly tight, lift your leg. Foot off the floor, just a teeny lift. I want you to think about pushing your heel back. If you want more work, you can use the ball in the other hand, Or if you want to, you can take the other arm off, just lift. So you don't want any lean in, big toe off the floor. One more time, big toe off the floor. Good, let's change over to the other side. Yeah, hip, flat belly, 50-pound note, broad chest. Foot behind, just your toe. Just your toe. Make sure your butt muscles are squeezing. Yeah, squeeze them tight. Lovely, here we go. Squeeze the ball, squeeze your butt. Squeeze the ball, squeeze your butt. If you want to make it harder, you work on your balance, okay? The leg lift is just the same. And again. And then recover. So we're going to use the other side, so you just need to move your chair around, okay? So remember, it's the leg that is closest to the chair. I'm going to keep hold of my ball for this one. If you don't want to use your ball, just put it on your chair, okay? When you're doing this, you don't slump into this. You're going to lift this knee up, okay? So the knee comes up and you stand tall. Okay, you reach the ball as the leg comes back and you pull the ball. Now, if you want to work your shoulder, what you can do is when the ball is here, when your knee is there, is to push the ball up to the ceiling like that. And then when the leg comes back, push the ball up to the ceiling like this. So it goes back, rotates and push. And then rotates and push. Yeah? So pull it back. Let's just do one more because I'm a useless teacher. And again, good work. Okay, so when we're doing the side leg lift now, you want the palm of your hand and the ball up to the ceiling. You work on this hip, yeah? Keep it close and tight. Leg out to the side. I would put your ball on your leg. Lift and down. Lift and down. And if you want to work a little bit differently, you can lift your arm. So this is the leg that is doing most of the work. Don't slump into it. Good. One more time now. And then recover. All right. So we're going to place the ball back down here and you're going to take your band for the next little bit. A lot of the work that we're doing is going to be on grip strength. So I want you to imagine you're going to shake hands with me and that's how you're going to hold the band. So you grab the band as if you're shaking somebody's hand. Okay, so here we go. Use the ball to support your lower back and place the band underneath your right foot. So you're going to stretch your leg out in front of you and you're going to have your hand, and what you're going to do is you're going to take one hand over the other and work on your grip strength to pull the leg up. And then you're going to control the weight of your leg on the way down. So even though we're working to stretch your hamstrings, you're also working on grip strength. So I don't want you to just lift your leg like this with your arm. You go one hand over the other, yeah? And then one hand over the other. So try it again. One hand over the other. Pull, pull, pull. One hand over the other. Last one. Now hold it here. And then if you can, just move your ankle around. If it aggravates your back, don't do it. If you've got hip or knee replacement, take it easy, just cross your ankles. But otherwise, use the band to hold your foot in place and just have a look at your other foot on the floor. You should feel that in your hip. Just checking the time and then release. All right, we normally do an exercise here with the band, but I've run out of time, I think. So, one hand over the other hand, leg up. One hand over the other hand, control it down. Now, when you're doing this, you don't want to lean back away from it. You want to use the pull muscles in your back and shoulders. So remember, when you pull your arm, you sit up. You use the ball to support you. You don't lean back. And when you're dropping it down, you don't lean towards it. Sit up tall, wear your crown, pull, pull, pull. Lower, lower, lower. So on the next one, we're going to stay up if we can. And you're going to move your foot from side to side. And then if you can, bring your leg across, hold it in place and just have a peep over the top. Lovely. All right, let's take the band off. We're going to do one more exercise that we do for rotator cuff and shoulder stretch. So your hands are this way, like this. You sit back with your back against the ball, wherever it feels comfortable. You might want to move it further up. You keep your elbows tucked in and you have a broad and open chest. You're going to point this thumb out to the side and you're going to look at it. You're going to pull the band and then in. So you're going to look at your band, pull the band. You want to keep both your elbows welded to your waist. And again. Try not to roll the feet. One more time. Good. Okay, change over. Now you might find one arm is stronger. What you don't want to do is to start with the band relaxed like this. You want to start with the band tight and you want to increase the tension. Yeah, look at your hand. And again. One more time. And then release. Okay, you can put your band down for now. Roll your shoulders, hands onto your thighs, tilt your head to the side, and then just tuck your chin in. Release the shoulders. Head over to the side, and then tuck your chin in. Okay, lean back against the ball, just roll. You can move your arms, you can do semaphore arms, anything that feels good for you. Lovely. Oh, I'm running out of time here. Here we go. All right. Taking the ball to the upper body now. Rolling the shoulders up, back and down. So you want to roll into this and back. One more time. So at the end of the class, you really want to go back to mobility and stretch. So you do warm up, you do your workout, then you do mobility and stretch. Now take the ball finally back down to the lower part of the back. Take hold of your leg and if you can, lift the knee up and lean back. And then roll down. And again, same side. Roll into the ball. Tuck your chin in as you roll back. Lovely. Then release and you change over to the other side. So lift, tuck your chin in. And again, here we go. And we've got one more if you can. And then release. Okay, hands onto your thighs. We're going to do our deep breathe in here. If you have shoulder issues, you can keep your hands on your legs. If you want to use your arms, you can do. When you take that out breath, I want you to slow the out breath down. Okay, so it's a deep breath in. And then that's slow. And then release. Deep breath in, slow breath in. And then slow breath out. One more time. Deep breath in. This time, bring your hands together. You say thank you to yourself. We're going to stand up. So you can swing, you can jump, you can do staggered feet, or you can go pushing up. Checking your posture in standing position. Feet are hip distance apart. Push forward into the pelvis. Zip up. Open chest. Engage the lat muscles. Move the weight of your head over your body. Think about being between two panes of glass here. Okay, so you're not slumped forward. Draw in. Lift up. Shoulders down. And again, roll your shoulders. And there we go. 30 minutes of chair Pilates. I call it chair Pilates or seated Pilates. I actually think there's a lot of value in the work that we do. And certainly if you've got any back issues, sometimes it's quite nice not to be on the floor. Or like I say, if you're neurodivergent in any way and you hate the fact you can't see me, this is a nice little class. And then as you get better, you don't hold the chairs much. And we've now progressed to using small hand weights as well in the class because they're getting stronger. And I really enjoy teaching the class. So if you enjoyed it, let me know. If you thought it was too easy, let me know as well, because I'll know whether to put it into the programme again. All right, see you tomorrow morning. I've got my busy day tomorrow, and hopefully you're not aching too much. Da iawn, diolch.